And that's when I realised, do you want to ride this camel? Was less of a euphemism and more of a command. Hello, mate.
You are now listening to Radio Rufus.
Yes, yes, yes. Bismillah, you absolute butterfaces, and welcome back to another batty episode of Radio Rufus. That's right, we are back in the cathedral of content. This is where it goes down. We pray to the content gods. Who are the content gods? Like old geezers. Smosh, PewDiePie, KSI, Black Jesus. We pray to those every week for unlimited content, and sometimes it works, and sometimes the goths wreak mighty fury, smite us with absolute shitter episodes that we have to delete and then never talk about ever again. But that's guaranteed not to happen this time, because as we bring you the carousel of absolute horseshit that is latest, greatest news, sports, games, and everything from around the world, I am joined in holy matrimony, I should say, not only by my fellator, Adrian, and I called him Adrian. It's been a while since we've recorded. By my personal fellator, Aidan, but also by the Mr. Worldwide of comedy, a British man with an Italian name and an Irish passport, who has come onto this Albanian podcast to promote a Scottish comedy show. It's Vittorio Angelone.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome.
An honor. What an intro.
Are you happy with that?
No.
What part specifically?
The British bit. I'm not British. I have a British passport, but I'm not British.
I think
I have
that's
both.
The reason Mike called you a turncoat bastard is becoming very clear here.
Oh, because I got the... But that was just for visa reasons.
Yeah.
For dodgy
I
stuff.
think the
I was being
passport is
dodgy.
that is where you're from, isn't it?
But when I was born, I don't know when you were born. When were you born?
99.
99? Ah, you've always had the right to an Irish
I
passport.
have indeed, yeah.
I was born in 96. I only clocked that recently. Before 98, we weren't allowed Irish passports.
Yeah.
So I would have had... My first one would have been British one, but then I was Irish for a long time.
It was
But you
basically...
might as well have both. I like having multiple passports. It makes me feel illegal.
Yeah, I wish
that's true, to be
I wish
fair.
I could have another one, but they won't just give them out.
Are you not some kind of like foreign white?
What would you like me to be?
I thought you were like one of these, dads in the army committing atrocities, and you're at an international school.
They did have a stint in India for a while.
Yeah, so there's the Rice Memorial Church is in Bangalore in India, where we tried for 100 years to convert the locals to Christianity. Big flop.
No luck.
Big flop.
You had
As
to
you can see.
take the L at one point.
Yeah, I mean, lovely food. But
Not the typical work the Brits did out there.
I've been to Bangalore doing charity work. I was probably mopping up your family's mess.
yeah.
Bangalore's cool. You can get loads of stuff with swastikas on it.
Oh, brilliant.
That's a peace symbol there, is it?
It means like prosperity. And to be fair, they did prosper for a while.
That's fantastic, because what I thought you were going to say was prostate cancer awareness when you started that, which I was like, they really pushed the boat out there.
In fairness, the big man was big on prosperity as well.
They prospered for 6 years.
Yeah.
Maybe 5, I would say, but
By the big man, he's talking about Hitler, just for the listener.
Adolf Hitler.
Yeah.
Just so you're not confused with all the other Hitlers.
all those other Hitlers out there.
Did they just completely get rid of that name after all that?
No. Bridget Hitler, she used to live in Liverpool. Adolf Hitler had British relatives.
Yeah.
He used to live in Liverpool, and Bridget Hitler was definitely one of them. She was like the wacky aunt at the barbecue,
But the fact that you've never seen like a Bundesliga 2 striker called Hitler, they must have just completely done away with the name.
And all of them.
Yeah.
Goering, Goebbels, Himmler.
Yeah.
Hess.
They must
You
just
get
have
Hess.
eaten.
There was a comedian called Adam Hess. I don't think he was anything to Rudolph, but...
Right. Is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer related to Rudolph Hess, or is that not how it works?
Could well be.
Because Rudolph
Although
Hess...
first names don't tend to indicate relations. Are you related to Rufus Wainwright?
Yeah, probably. Like, in India, that's how it works.
First names?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. But it makes sense in India because there are only like 4 first names and everyone's all related. So it all just sort of links in, doesn't it?
There's lots of Vittorios in Italy. It's a very common name.
Yeah?
I'm very easy to get on like a Coke Zero, with your share a Coke with Vittorio.
Right, yeah.
Very easy because it was.
Yeah, I've never been on keychain, postcard, Coke Zero, no chance. Rufus.
You must. Rufus is
I've never seen a
gettable.
Rufus actually, no.
Nah,
Rufus is gettable.
I'm never on an I Heart t-shirt. I Heart Rufus, no chance.
Well, that's so rare. I think we're going keychains here.
You'd have better luck looking into the pet market because there's a lot of dogs called Rufus.
You could get a collar.
That's true. Woof woof, baby. Yeah. No, I've met a great many. I've met more dogs called Rufus than people.
So have I.
Yeah, I think we all have.
Well, I think you might be my first Rufus.
Wow.
Dog or person.
You'll never feel the same ever again.
Yeah.
My roommate at school had lots of dogs, one of which was called Rufus.
That's so funny. We don't have those. A roommate at school.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, well, if
in
you
the Holy Lands, you had fucking just a few flatmates. You never had a roommate.
That's uni though. That's not.
Yeah.
No, school when you're like 14.
Oh fuck
Yeah.
yeah!
Yeah,
it is your
roommate.
Where they
little
keep
days.
all the kids together while their parents commit atrocities.
Yeah. Committing atrocities, like in my dad's case, kite surfing. That's what he's up to. And in my mum's case, I don't know, yoga and sort of colonic irrigation, probably.
That could be atrocious.
Yeah. It's a bit of a war crime. Some of the things she used to chef up were war crimes.
I really assume you would have had a chef.
You definitely did at one point.
Oh,
Told me
yeah.
that before.
Yeah, of course. That was only for like 8 years.
I like being around you because I'm a very middle class boy, but you make me look salt of the earth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. And you get away with it a lot in England. If you have an accent,
Yeah,
of any
it's
description,
assumed
they're
you're
like,
not.
he must be rough as fuck.
Everyone, whenever I used to work here, everyone in the office thought I was like fucking the poorest person they've ever met, just because I had an accent.
With his eyebrows threaded and everything.
Yep. Having done 70 episodes of this podcast, I can confirm that's true. But yeah, you're probably not going to like the next bullet point of this introduction,
Okay.
which is you're one of the United Kingdom's great comedy prospects.
I live here. Yeah, I would say that.
Yeah, okay, cool. You released his debut show, Rave Reviews 2023, apparently, according to your own website. So I don't know if that's true. You've also been described by fellow comedian Mike Rice as a turncoat bastard.
I was also described by Piers Morgan as a dickhead.
Were
That's
you?
fucking class. That
It's
should be
good. It was on the poster. It was on the poster.
What did you say?
So basically, what happened was I was performing at a place called Vauxhall Comedy Club, and the compare was on like.
Yeah,
chatting
big fan of
people,
that
whatever,
class.
And somebody, in Europe, it's called Opal Comedy Club.
Yeah.
And the compare
And in
was
China,
on,
it's just got some unpronounceable name. Right.
compare was on chatting away to people, and some woman like heckled, and he was like, "Oh, what do you do?"
Yeah.
And she was like, "I'm Piers Morgan's producer." That was her immediate answer to what do you do for a job. So I'm on next, and I'm frantically Googling everything I can find out about this woman just to like have a go at her when I get on stage.
Yeah.
So I get on, and I was like, mostly taking the piss out of Piers Morgan, broadly.
Yeah.
Through her.
And through the vehicle of her, and I was like, come on, there's got to be better ways to make a living. You're not.
Yeah, I was about to say, it might be the only worse show to produce than this one.
The bottom 3 shows to produce.
Yeah.
This one, Diary of a CEO, Piers Morgan right at the bottom.
All 3 of those shows, all the viewers are closet viewers. No one publicly wants to admit that they listen to them.
That's true. All our viewers have to watch it in secret.
Yeah.
Like when your mum catches you watching
Guilty pleasure.
watching porn on your phone when you.
We get
at
that with
night.
Mike in my podcast. People are like, I don't know what friends to send this to.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you just come across as like somewhat wholesome and progressive, and then the next clip will just set us back 10 years.
It's real 2 steps forward, 1 step. We're keeping everybody on their toes,
Yeah.
essentially. So I go on and I chat there, and as is a comedian's want these days, I was filming the show and I clipped it up, put it online, and Piers Morgan like quote tweets it and is like, "Pick on me, dickhead, not at my hardworking young female staffer." And
Yeah.
I was like,
As if he gives a fuck that she's a young female employee.
but also like, how have you like been the one in the interaction defending the woman and come across more creepy
yeah.
than me? You hardworking young female staffer.
It's the as soon as female gets deployed in the vocabulary.
And she threatened to sue me. She was like, "You've publicized my name and my job." And I was like, "I don't know if you've ever heard of the credits of a TV show, but you're in them."
Didn't you find her on LinkedIn?
She was.
It's not as if she's
Your
fucking
name
bad.
and job is on TV every day.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Producer, whatever
Yeah.
her fucking name was.
Have you ever had any other run-ins like that with celebrities or comedians that sort of...
No, we had a clip go out today of our podcast about when I met Grian Chatton from the
Oh, fuck yeah,
from
Fontaine's
Fontaine's
DC.
DC. It was after a Lankham gig at the Apollo, and I just went up. It was him and Rady Pete, who's a singer from Lankham. This is meaning nothing to you, I'm imagining.
No.
Yeah.
Also, I think Fontaine's DC are shit.
That is a ridiculous take. Especially you listen
They're
to
right up your street.
you
They
listen
are
to
not.
Wonder
They're
Horse,
for
don't
you.
you?
No, I don't know Wonder Horse. I like one Wonder Horse song, and the rest of them are garbage. I'm
What
sorry.
do you like?
Lana Del Rey. He's one of my.
He
favorites.
loves the Smiths, believe it or
I
not.
love the Smiths.
You're so sad.
I'm such an emo.
There's such sadness. There's all of this, the whole set, the lights, the suit, the knitted tie. This is all armor.
In fairness, his granny knitted that tie, so take that back.
Yeah.
But it's armor. Your
This one's for
granny.
you, Granny. She won't be able to hear that because she's deaf, but like, she does watch the podcast.
Just watches it.
I think she lip reads the podcast.
My dad used to go around to my granny's house and like put my YouTube videos on the TV, and she thought I was on TV
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
until she
think
died.
that.
She thought I was like. She thought I was, and my dad. She thought my dad would come around and find the channel that I happened to be on
Yeah,
at
right.
any given moment. Like she thought I was just constantly.
Yeah. You were always on fucking RTE too.
Yeah, she thought I was Ramesh Ranganathan.
That
There are
is
those
good.
people, if you just flipping off channels, you'll find them.
Yeah.
Tom Allen, Ramesh Ranganathan, Rob Beckett, like.
Always on Dave.
There'll be, yeah. There'll be a rerun of a Taskmaster or Would I Lie to You or something. There'll be.
The constant is just Romesh TV. It's just constant Romesh Ranganathan.
Well, do either of you have a Samsung TV?
No.
Yeah.
Do you have the crazy channels where it plays
Yeah.
one TV show
So
all
strange.
day?
24/7. Yeah.
Penn and Teller Fool Us 24 hours a day.
It's always like the most rogue, like CSI shit.
There's a
It's
Come
just
Down
on
With Me
TV.
channel, and it only plays Come Down With Me.
Right.
It's
I-
good for if you just want to stick something on when you're eating or something.
I like Australian Border Force. You know, when those Chinese people are pretending that they don't know you can't bring live fish.
What do you mean I can't bring a giant squid in my hand luggage?
Yeah. It's just some old Chinese granny that knows exactly what she's up to. The
Yeah,
scheming
smuggling like
bastard.
12 fucking snakes through borders.
yeah, exactly. And she's like, oh, it's just a snake. Like, it's a fucking snake, mate. You can't bring that in.
Like it's my neck pillow.
Yeah. It's just a python.
The reason, by the way, Mike referred to you as a turncoat bastard was whenever Rufus was asking basically whether you were like a Celtic or a Rangers man, which I don't think there's ever been a case where you need to ask that question less with being half Italian.
Irish, man.
That's like, you're like a fucking super tag.
I'm more Catholic than the Pope.
Yeah, you probably get registered for the next conclave on that alone.
Yeah, I reckon I could get it. I'm too young. You have to be 30
Nah, they'll fucking...
something to be Pope.
35.
35?
Mike's
so.
approaching that. Maybe he could have a run a...
Yeah, next year. I was saying if they waited long enough, they could have elected Mike as Pope, but they went for that. I'm a fucking baseball fan guy.
You've been shagging recently because you can't do that if you're, a priest.
But then, did you not see the woman who was like, I shagged the Pope?
No, I didn't see that.
We did see that over COVID, the Pope was like giving fucking transsexual or prostitutes money to keep their business afloat. But I think he's full of shit if he's...
Stimulus check.
more
Yeah,
or
yeah,
less.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
unbelievable.
Just for the prostitutes because
stimulation
no one
check.
was going outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he did a stimulus check for the prozzies in Rome.
I don't believe, though, that he wasn't also using their services. If he's throwing them the money, he's probably making the most of that. Like, because they're not going to go out and tell anyone.
Yeah, I
not
guess
gonna
it's
bite the
mutually
hand that's
assured
feeding them.
destruction.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. But there was just a lady who came out and was like, "Oh, I used to go out with the Pope, like before he was a priest. Like in college, they had like a situation."
Oh, shit, yeah, I suppose before all that. That's so strange.
Because they're allowed
That's so
to
funny,
shag
like-
and then become Pope.
Oh, that's it. I imagine imagine being with the Pope at uni and just like taking
Yeah.
bong hits and stuff. That would be so sick. And then
You
the
don't
Pope-
know he's the Pope, but that election day, you are buzzing when that gets
Yeah,
announced.
yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
our boy fucking did it.
It's a really depressing, like, Instagram scroll, though, whenever you're stalking your ex and you're hoping they're doing something really shit.
And he's
they're
the Pope.
fucking Pope.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough.
You're now hitting the fringe with your new show.
Hitting it. Yeah.
You are hitting it big gangster style from the back, I think.
Hitting the fringe from the back.
You can't say nothing anymore.
Yeah.
There is a typo in the title, but that's okay. There shouldn't be a space between any and more.
This is your international schooling.
That's
That's the
It's okay. I don't sure anyone else would.
One word is Americanized.
What do you mean?
There's a space in UK English.
No. That's wrong.
No, I've googled this extensively.
Did you check that?
Yeah.
Because it looks.
You're wrong.
No.
You're wrong.
You're wrong.
Anymore. Get it up. Pull that up, Jamie. That's
What I've
anymore. I get what you mean, but that's American.
follow-up question.
Why would that be one word? That's my question.
Because anymore, you can't say nothing anymore.
That's what Google reckons.
That's absolute horseshit. It's an adverb.
No, it's not.
Just Google doesn't know anything. Ask DeepSeek.
Now, you got that fucking tailored to suit you.
Ask DuckDuckGo.
Yeah.
Ask Jeeves.
Ask Jeeves.
Jeeves will be on Rufus's side.
Jeeves will fucking back me up. Yeah.
Jeeves is on your payroll.
Jeeves used to work for Rufus.
Quora. Go on Quora.
Go on.
Is Bing
Scroll
still
through all
about?
the arguments about
Sorry?
Jordan
Is
Peterson.
Bing still about?
No,
Bing?
don't ask Bing. That'd be wrong. Bing will be like Googling.
Finley Christie had that great joke about going to China, but Bing isn't blocked in China because they're like,
It's so bad.
You can't fucking find anything on it.
You know,
anyway.
so I went to China and I tried Googling Tiananmen Square and there just aren't any results.
yeah.
Yeah, they're just like, don't know what that is, mate.
Yeah.
And also that never happened. And what are you talking about? So, and you can't find it.
There's a knock at the door.
You can't find any pictures of the Tank Man either.
What's Tank Man?
The guy who stood in front of all those tanks.
Oh,
shopping.
yeah.
You can't find any pictures of it. Yeah. Edinburgh Fringe.
Yes, I'm going. It's all sold out.
Is there any actual festival or is it all Fringe?
There is an Edinburgh Festival. This is the thing. So it started as like, this is separate to the corporate bullshit, but now the Fringe has become probably as corporate, if not. There are elements of the Fringe that aren't corporate, like the venue Mike and I are doing, the Monkey Barrel.
Yeah.
That's very
It's a
cool.
great club.
And like they look after acts, they like the split's very cool. But some places are like taking half of the money. I know people who, if they sell out their whole run, they'll lose $2,000
Jesus Christ.
What's the point?
because they might get on Mock the Week. Doesn't exist anymore. That's genuinely. They might get on Richard Osman's House of Games.
Oh, brilliant! Yeah, yeah.
Do you think with like social media,
Richard Osman's House of Games is the most bleak TV show I've ever seen.
I just recorded it. Loved it.
Did you?
It's so.
Is
fun.
there actually an audience? No.
No.
I thought so because
do
it's
they
got.
pretend that there is?
Yeah.
There's occasional pumped in applause, but they don't pretend in the studio.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty evident there's nobody.
It's in the uncanny valley of TV where I'm not really sure. Like,
It's quite shiny floor, but it's the coziest of cozy light. It's the lightest of entertainment.
yeah,
It's the
right,
light, and
okay.
but it's so chill.
Do you know the
People love it. When I posted pictures of the record day, like
people are
it's the most message I've ever got from mates who I went to school and uni with, being like, "Fuck off, that's unreal." People with normal jobs love it because it's 6 p.m. They're just in from work, and they just get to do a little quiz.
I haven't watched TV for about 15 years. Ever since you know, like FIFA pack openings started dropping. Like, there's no
Are you
reason.
an Ultimate Team? I've never gotten into Ultimate Team.
Back
Whenever I was like 16, I used to sell sweets at school and just put all the money into FIFA packs, which was the worst decision ever made. But I was big into it then. Haven't played it in like 8 years.
I was always a career mode guy.
Yeah, take
Manager.
Doncaster to the promised land, sort of guy.
Yeah. I always wish there was a version in career mode where like you could.
Try
sort
and
of-
win the World Cup with San Marino.
I mean, that would be a fucking what a dream. But I always wanted like Celtic though, and they're like prem, like but you can't. They don't have the functionality to orchestrate the merging of the SPL.
Right. Yeah.
Blame Game back home.
Yes.
I was asked to be a production assistant on it whenever I was like 18, and I was thinking, class, I'll get to learn a bit about the industry. Went in, and they literally just had someone in front of the room telling us when to clap, and they had mics in front of us. We were basically just there to fake laugh and clap at all.
It's
the
a strange
comedians.
show. So it's like Mock the Week if it was just about Northern Irish politics.
Wow.
And every so
really
often they
weird.
get an English comedian on who hasn't a fucking clue.
Not a notion what they're on about.
It's
Right.
so funny because they do the Empire, the comedy club in Belfast, and then they do the Blame Game because they're produced by the same people.
Yeah.
And they just have to sit there while all these 50-year-old Belfast comedians are
just
like,
waffling-
and what about this about the Protestants, and that's about the Orange Lodge, and well, the Catholic did this, and then what about Sinn Féin, and what about Jay Adams? And the English guy's like, well, I think it's all rather strange.
The same troubles jokes that were made in the fucking 90s every fucking week is shown.
Right.
Very fun. Like, it's just from the past. I sort of flicked it on recently and was like, this is crazy, this is still happening.
Yeah. The time I was doing it though, Mickey Bartlett was on, and
Oh.
every time I actually laughed at him, whenever I watched it live, they cut all that.
Yeah,
Because
they
it was
got
like
funny
maybe
stuff.
slightly risky.
Yeah.
All the shit that
Yeah.
was shit. was just
Lawyers.
there.
If
It's
I
very
just drop
hilarious.
Arlene Foster's name, that will go platinum.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It has done many times.
I'll take the house off. Just saying it. Yeah.
She's so funny. She's like, I live rent free in Kneecap's heads because they put her on a poster.
Yeah. She's like 2 lyrics in one of the songs.
It's interesting you mentioned kneecap. We're going to play a game here just to test your allegiances and see where you really lie.
Okay.
Of this or that. But it's British or Irish stuff, so you've just got to say what you prefer.
Okay.
And the first round is Coldplay or kneecap.
Well, Kneecap. I'm not.
Okay, the thing I will say about kneecap, right? I get what they're trying to do. Political messaging, everything. The music sounds like dog shit.
This is such
disagree with
posh
that
English.
entirely.
This
You
is
agree
such
with me?
posh
No,
English.
I don't. I'm going to see KNEECAP next week.
Fontaines?
Yeah.
I'll see you there, brother.
Fucking quality.
If they didn't have all the political stuff, you would listen to that and be like, this is shit.
Absolutely disagree.
Even the beats and stuff are class.
It sounds
Because,
awful.
but early when they didn't really know how to produce music, it like
Yeah.
wasn't great. But like you could still tell they could rap a bit. And then Fine Art, the album, when they got actual producers involved, and the music's unbelievable.
That track itself, Fine Art, is fucking unreal.
Yeah,
I
Rhino Cat.
I literally couldn't disagree more. That would be my personal. That would be like if they popped me in a gulag in Pyongyang and forced me to listen to that all day, I'd go mental.
Do you know DJ Provy was the Irish teacher at my brother's school?
That's so class.
Yeah, and he got sacked like a year into KNEECAP because even though he was wearing the balaclava, they traced it all back to him. And I was like, he couldn't be doing a better job for an Irish teaching school promoting it, and they're sacking him over it.
Yeah,
Okay.
Kneecap are good.
Can we have
Fuck
them do
you.
like a mashup?
Fuck you.
Next
Free
round.
Kneecap.
Next round, butter or lard?
Butter.
Okay,
Are you trying to say Butter's British?
no.
Good.
Yeah, Kerrygold.
Yeah, they'd have something to say about that.
Right,
The only thing that challenges Kerrygold is, you know that, and you might like this.
Lurpak, spreadable.
Fuck Larry.
You're
Invent-
a fucking idiot. You're an idiot.
That's the good stuff.
Fuck you. The only good thing about Lurpak was that one ad they had, which was like chop, 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 chopping.
What?
Fucking class.
It's 8 bread on top of it.
Get it up. Get it up. Chop, 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 chopping.
Round
Lurpak
3
ad.
of this or that.
The only butter that challenges Kerrygold is that French stuff with the salt flakes in it.
Yeah,
very
El
fucking-
Aviv. Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah.
What'd you say? I thought
El Aviv.
you said Tel Aviv.
Yeah, Tel Aviv.
Tel Aviv.
Very
Tel
British.
Aviv. Tel Aviv butter.
Those aren't salt flakes. This better be the right one. Yeah.
It sounds like it. The melody.
Chop, 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 chopping. Dice, 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 dicing. Peel, 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 peeling. We're cooking up a rainbow today.
Healthy doesn't have to taste humdrum.
I recognize that chop, 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 chop.
It's good shit.
I didn't live in Britain at this time, so I missed this
Me
one.
neither.
No. But you did. You're in Northern Ireland.
Britain, Northern Ireland isn't in Britain.
Well, it's not on the island, but it's very much,
It's not in Britain.
It's not on the island of Great Britain, but it's very much, part. It's very much part
If
of
you said United Kingdom,
the whole culture.
I would
be
let
onto
you out with
something,
it.
yeah.
Close
But
enough.
it's not in Britain.
Round 3 of this or that. Leprechaun or ordinary midget?
Oh.
Okay.
There's
Fuck,
potentially
that's funny.
a bit of monetary gain to a leprechaun that you aren't guaranteed with like a run of the mill midget.
They're
No.
not promising pots of gold.
No, but they're quite annoying, don't you think? Because they
you
keep.
ever-
I think they keep promising you things that never materialize.
But what's
Did you
your
ever
best-
watch Man vs. Beast?
No, Man vs Food though. Love that.
Also good, but Man vs. Beast, very different show in Scotland because they called pedophiles Beast. But Man vs. Beast was they would do physical challenges between like humans and animals. So
Yeah.
they had like you had to hang from a bar once. And it was a man versus like an orangutan. And the orangutan obviously was just like it was like
All day
a
long.
college gymnast champion from America.
Well, they're literally called monkey bars, aren't they?
Yeah,
Like,
so but then the orangutan is like finding it so easy that he pisses on the guy while he's hanging.
Oh,
right.
Funniest thing ever. But the relevance to this is they would get an elephant to pull, or like a couple elephants to pull like a plane, and then like 100 dwarves.
Where do you source that many of them? Just leave like a trail of food or something.
Casting, they're all like in ads and stuff.
Uh.
Like, you know.
Did you see Peter Dinklage fucked off the dwarf community for complaining about Snow White having CGI dwarfs after he got all the dwarf jobs for 20 years?
Yeah, no, wasn't it that he said that they shouldn't have like cast actors with dwarfism, and all these like out of work dwarf actors were like,
Yeah.
fucks.
That's 7
Fuck's
dwarfs
sakes.
getting a payday, like.
But then he was also angry when Hugh Laurie played an Oompa Loompa in the new Charlie and Chocolate
I
Factory,
don't
and I'm
think
like,
Oompa Loompas are dwarves.
well, this is the thing, like
they're
Peter,
not-
you're not an Oompa Loompa.
They're not humans, right?
Exactly, you're not an Oompa Loompa. Like,
Right.
stop putting yourself in that box. Those are my roles.
He's really set them back.
It's like
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Round 4: Sinead O'Connor or Jason Statham.
It's
Same.
interesting.
Similar
Sinead
trim.
O'Connor's a Muslim.
We picked them because they look alike.
Oh yeah, the shaved head.
Yeah.
I'd say Sinead O'Connor.
Yeah.
Beautiful eyes. I look like Sinead O'Connor when I shaved my head.
Can you sing like that as well?
Yeah.
Can you tear up a picture of what does he do? Tear up
The
a picture
Pope.
of the Pope on stage. Yeah.
Yeah.
That worked.
Maybe he was.
That was the original.
Maybe he was her ex-boyfriend.
Sinead O'Connor, I shagged the Pope in college. Yeah. That was the original like BLM black square. You know what I mean? Like
Kind of was actually.
That was big. No, that was big when she tore up a picture of the Pope.
yeah, but it didn't work though.
The whole of Ireland was
Yeah, they
furious.
were
That
up in
moved the
arms.
needle. That actually moved the needle
Yeah, but
of
nobody,
cultural opinion.
unfortunately, nobody cares what people in Ireland think.
There were so many.
We know.
No, but it was a rebellion about stuff that was happening in Ireland, so you don't have to care about that because you don't own it anymore.
Oh, brilliant! I didn't even know that I didn't even know it moved the needle, but that's fine.
There were still a lot of hell bent Irish grannies that were like, nah, they wouldn't do that.
Let them fuck the kids.
Right, cup of tea, or split the G.
Split the G, but I don't split the G. I go between the G and the harp. That was always, and it used to just be called the
It
Guinness
did used
game.
to be that.
The Guinness game.
Yeah.
And it was above the G, below the harp. It's a harder thing to do. It's a more satisfying thing to achieve, and it's become very, very trendy now. And I think I might have to be like become one of these fucking Beamish people, because Beamish is class. But I don't like tea. I don't drink tea. So
Have you heard about the Nigerian Guinness?
Oh, it's absolutely rank.
is this the Guinness export?
They brew their own Guinness in Nigeria.
Well, there's 3 Guinness breweries, I think: Dublin, Nigeria, Malaysia. Those are the 3 places.
Which, like, if you were gonna pick 3 places, that would be my go-tos.
Nigeria is number either 2 or 3 on the like
Biggest
highest
drinkers of it?
Guinness drinkers.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's much stronger.
It's massive in Africa, massive in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you think they split the G in Lagos? Do you think they have the whole wanky culture about it as well? Do you think they go to Ghana and be like, well, the Guinness is that's shit over here.
Is there
You've got to
like
go.
a Guyana Guinness cure is what you're asking?
You've got to go back. You've got to go back and have
I
it
don't
from
think
Nigeria.
Guinness is as big in Ghana as it is in Nigeria.
Yeah, but when they go out there and they drink it, they're like, well, it's not the same as Nigerian Guinness. You got to go back and
Doesn't
you got to have it
travel-
from
it
the
doesn't
factory.
travel.
You got to have it from the factory, mate.
I
Otherwise,
think they do tours. I'd love to, because I've never done the St James's Gate, the Dublin Guinness tour, but I'd love to do the fucking Nigerian Guinness tour.
yeah. The Malaysian one would be
I'm
interesting.
fighting every urge to do an impression of a Nigerian man taking you on a Guinness tour.
That sort of stuff's welcome in this floor.
Yeah. Welcome to the factory.
You have to let it settle.
Yeah. Do not order. Hang on, I'm just going straight Indian there.
My PR is sat outside. It's so funny. You can hear him fidgeting.
Do not order it last. Order it fast. That's, you think that's the sort of thing they'd be up to? Yeah. Final round. This is a rhyming round. Wham cock or shamrock?
Now, does that mean George Michael's penis?
If you want, but it sort of just means a hench chopper, in my opinion.
Wham as in.
Like a proper dench thing, like a proper cable.
I think Shamrock.
I know your fucking answer anyway.
Because you're gay.
No, because he's an incessant cock watcher.
Yeah, I do
Go to-
do that.
if you're ever
and I
at a
think people
cubicle-
who don't do it are lying, but if the urinals, like I'm always having a peek. Just to see what other people are working with. No.
I can't make eye contact.
I'm not making eye contact. I'm just looking at the penis.
Have you seen 28 Years Later by any chance?
No, I need to watch 28 Days Later and then watch the next
The
one.
reason I ask, there's a zombie in it that for no reason they give a 15-inch cock. And he's just running about chasing people with a cock swinging.
That's great.
It's so hard to take seriously whenever you're looking at that.
I mixed up that and 12 Years a Slave, which was a problem.
You did.
I genuinely did. I thought he was talking about that for 20 minutes.
Probably similar sized cocks.
Yeah, probably. Right, let's get into the news now. Our first story of the week, and we're starting with something pretty sweaty, and it's not Aidan Rafferty wants the UK Border Force inspect his dodgy Macedonian visa. That's right, he does look like a Balkan cab driver. It's Florida Attorney General James Uthmire proposing a new immigrant detention center to be built in his state to assist the ICE with mass deportation efforts. So basically, the Attorney General wants to build a new fortress that he called Alligator Alcatraz, which I think we can all agree is fantastic.
So it's in the middle of like a swamp or the Everglades.
That's exactly where it is. Yeah. So apparently there's an unused military training facility, which it's incredible that they have one of those, an unused military training facility. Yeah. So he wants to convert it into a holding cell for 1,000 migrants. and it's in the Everglades, which is home to 200,000 alligators. So that's
And
200.
300,000 retired Jewish people.
Yeah, exactly. So that's 300 retired Jewish people and 200 alligators per migrant. If we're just running the numbers there. Yeah. So he basically wants
But you
to
can't put that many Muslims surrounded by that many Jewish people. That's not going to end well.
Well, that's what the Crocs are for. If they did that, imagine if they
They
did
should
that.
put alligators
They
on
need
the
to-
Gaza Strip.
Exactly. Instead of that, like all they have is a sort of cheeky fence at the
Yeah.
moment, right? Whereas what they need is a massive moat full of snakes and crocs, and nobody would cross that.
Whenever
None
I
of this would have ever happened if we. That's how we divvied up mandatory Palestine.
More alligators in the Middle East. That's the...
That'll solve the conflict.
Send the crocs. That's what I mean. Send the crocs in. Yeah, maybe that's what Greta Thunberg is trying to do. But they said no. But on that tiny boat, I guess they could only probably fit about 4.
4 crocs.
Yeah.
How much food were they actually taking over in that boat?
Quite a bit, I think.
Was it?
And it was also, I get the point of what
It was
they were doing.
publicity
They were like,
more
they
so.
can't, because the last aid flotilla, they blew it up.
They're not going to bomb
They're
that
like,
one as
they
quick.
won't blow up Greta.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's funny is they did put her on a flight home. Ironic brilliance, I think.
That
yeah,
was
funny. She
You
hates
really saved a
flying.
lot of carbon there, Greta. Because it was a flight with like 2 people on it. Like a whole plane.
I would not be trusting the Israeli flights. I would be waiting for the lock on to happen with a missile as soon as I get 100 feet in the air.
Just-
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not going to shoot Greta, but they might shoot you.
I'm fucked. Yeah.
They get you in the. You be in the IDF.
I wouldn't go that far.
You're a hearty, but you're like no.
You're not a
I look more
19-year-old
like a
from...
Palestinian than I do.
Yeah,
fucking,
you don't
yeah.
look like a
Yeah, you'd be-
19-year-old from Brooklyn.
you'd be like a secret agent.
That's what was mad about that like Louis Theroux documentary. Is it really like because there's so many close-ups of like IDF soldiers talking to him? They're all it's like spotty teenagers from New Jersey.
Yeah,
It's kind of it's like Jesus Christ, this is pathetic.
they're from New Jersey. are
Yeah.
they? Oh right. I
Like
didn't realize
fucking-
the IDF recruited from like Jersey City.
Yeah,
Is that how it works?
it's like
Are they out? Are they out of local?
There's just this whole right to return thing. If you're Jewish, you're like entitled to land in Israel.
Oh right. Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody, not everybody, loads of people in Israel are just American who were like, oh well, I get land if I move here, so they do.
Yeah, but like, a lot of people give you free like McDonald's give you a toy so you buy a Happy Meal, but I don't really want it. You know what I mean? Like yeah, I get the land, but I still got to live in Israel.
Yeah,
So swings and roundabouts.
yeah.
Lots of roundabouts there. So basically, he wants a swamp moat, and this is the quote he made about it. It presents an efficient, low-cost opportunity to build a temporary detention facility because you don't need to invest that much in the perimeter
Because the alligators,
because of the
you
alligators.
can have them as kind of
People
slave
get out.
labor.
There's nowhere to go.
What if the alligators unionize?
We'll go on strike.
Yeah,
Just create a path for them until they get more money.
yeah.
Well, you're just hopping along the backs of the crocs along the moat.
Come on,
Yeah.
come on. Do cross the picket line would be the only instance of that.
There's a Florida Democrat.
Flummer?
Yeah, Florida
He's so good at this if you could read.
Democrat is against the scheme. He said Donald Trump and his administration have turned our immigration system into a taxpayer-funded kidnapping operation. That's his take, which
I mean, the videos do look like that.
hot take. Yeah, but but alligator Alcatraz, great, awesome.
My
Remember
uncle's
they
done the
first did
Alcatraz swim. You can do it as like if you're an open water swimming person.
Oh
You
right.
swim from Alcatraz Island. The swim that was like to prevent people escaping from the prison.
Yeah, yeah.
Sort of a crazy thing to do, but yeah.
You can swim that now.
Yeah.
I thought the whole point was that it was like unswimmable.
Well, it's really tough.
Yeah.
I think, and like it's hard for prisoners to like practice open water swimming in the lagoon.
Well, just like shadow swimming on the floor, on the floor of the
I'm
prison.
surprised they haven't put the immigrants there yet.
Actual Alcatraz?
Yeah.
God.
I know there's
That's a great
tourism money
idea.
and stuff,
Yeah.
but
I think Alcatraz was built with the intention that not every prisoner is going to be like prime Michael Phelps, I guess.
yeah.
Just be able to easily swim it back. Right, let's move on to our next story now. It's our science segment, which I've called Shreknical Analysis. If you want to come up with a new name for that, feel free in the comments.
Does it have anything to do with Shrek?
No.
All right.
This is bad news for incels, crypto bros, day traders, and Dorito eaters everywhere as an AI company valued at $1.5 billion has filed for bankruptcy after its neural network was discovered to actually be 700 Indians.
So it's just like Indian lads frantically Googling.
So
This is what this ChatGPT
it's an
is.
AI
ChatGPT with 2 A's.
ChatGPT. Yeah.
I just picture them all hiding inside like a giant computer screen.
Yeah.
I've asked AI to like design me logos and stuff recently. This is probably why it's taking so long, and they're just shuffling around the office seeing who's best at Photoshop.
Yeah. So it's an AI service called Natasha, and basically what it claimed it could do was completely write web applications, like could do all the design, all the back end code, everything. And they actually got $455 million of investment money from Microsoft.
Fuck.
That's how good it was. Those chaps were working hard in that office block in Hyderabad.
But it was 700 Indians in a big coat on each other's shoulders.
Yeah. I think I knew it was a problem when it started writing back to me, and it started with "Hello, mate."
You're like, can you design this logo for me? Send Bob's first.
Yeah, sure thing, mate. It turns out, so the requests the company got were handed over to 700 Indian people who would then just code the shit out of it. Just like nailing this code and handing it back and being like, yeah, machine made this.
Wow.
It's especially hilarious do you remember whenever AI first came about and everyone said that it stood for actual Indian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucking coming true.
Yeah. And I would argue this is the thing is, so this company like has filed for bankruptcy, like it's collapsed. Why?
Yeah, it seems to be very profitable.
It's sort of AI.
Unless the Indians unionize along with the alligators.
Oh, they'll never do that.
Crazy how much they must be underpaying those Indians that it's cheaper than actual AI.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
How much of
700
those-
Indians is
what's the
cheaper than
hourly
a chat
wage?
GPT. Because surely if they just get a ChatGPT subscription,
Right.
like they can just run it through one Indian.
Yeah.
But
You would think
700 of them is cheaper than a ChatGPT subscription. That is unbelievable.
Yeah, but it doesn't come with like great customer service and some onions in a bag. So, that's
You're not getting poppadoms on the house.
exactly. Yeah.
Do you reckon it's the same fuckers that ring you trying to get your bank details every week?
No, they're busy. These fuckers are way too busy. to
I
do
like
that.
watching scammers getting like hacked. Do you ever see the people?
Do
that
not
hack-
redeem the code. Yeah. I've seen that shit. Yeah. Do not redeem it. Yeah.
No! They get so angry. Fuck, it's good.
What's incredible is that these guys ran this scam for 8 years. They did 8 years of
I
pretending
hadn't
to be
even
AI.
heard of AI.
Exactly.
That was only about a year or two. That's fucking mental.
Yeah, so they were working in the shadows for like 5 years
They
before
haven't
it
seen
even.
sunlight since that first year.
Yeah.
So crazy.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, it's not AI, so it was. This is fraud, but it is still a real company, right?
Yeah, if it works.
Yes, but Microsoft will definitely have like sued them.
Yeah. So basically,
But AI does feel like this sort of like the .com boom. Like if you owned a web domain,
Yeah.
when it first started, you could make like millions and billions off of it. It does feel like if you stick the words AI on anything at the minute, you'll get a bunch of venture capitalists chucking money at you, and then it'll all fall apart. It's about to burst, I think.
Yeah, they also did work with another Indian company to increase the sales numbers, just billing each other back and forth to increase revenue numbers. So they're just like, I'll send you 1 million rupees, you send me 1 million rupees, and we'll just do it forever. Although the co-founder, Umang Bedi, who sounds like a reliable chap, said the accusation were bloody untrue. In a quote, baseless and false. So it must be true. And he also said send Bob's to the email address.
Bob's and Vegana.
Yeah. So there we go. All caught up with India. Now, things have been quiet in the Middle East recently. We haven't heard too much about them. So we thought we'd bring you everybody's favourite segment. It's the update on everybody's number one extremist. This is Talibanter. So we're heading over to the rather quiet Afghani LGBT community here. So we've got a lot of negative... The Taliban have had a lot of negative press.
Yeah, I would say that.
They banned a lot of stuff. Musical instruments, windows,
Showing ankle.
showing
Dancing.
ankle, playing chess, loads of stuff. I think doors are next up that they're going to ban. But
They love the monkey bars.
This is
Big fans of the monkey bars.
big fan of the monkey bars. But this is a positive story. LGBT community, which obviously stands for lesbian, gay, bisexual, Taliban. So a British man who visited Afghanistan claims, big claim, he had a homoerotic fling with a Taliban member.
Who the fuck is this? Jay from the In-Betweeners?
Yeah, it is a little bit of...
Fuck one of the Taliban, didn't I? Fuck.
It is a bit...
He's mad.
It's sort of a little
He
bit...
loved it as well.
West Ham under-13s sort of business, yeah.
Yeah, the pre-season tour.
Yeah,
I would have fucked more of him, did my knee, fuck.
Yeah, that's good. We did 2 tours of Spain and 1 of Afghanistan.
The Helmand province?
Yeah.
Is that Iraq or Afghanistan? It sounds Afghanistan.
Just playing against the Kabul FC reserves. No, it is a bit... I know what you mean. It is a bit she shit down my arm sort of territory. But it's a bloke called Toyosi Osideyende,
Classic British name.
who's a bank manager from Bath, said his adventures began 2 years ago when he fell in love with, and I'm going to be careful with this phrase, extreme tourism. Extreme tourism.
Okay.
Since then, he has visited 69 countries,
Nice.
including Iraq, Syria, and Belarus. So all the big hitters. But in 2023, Jet 2 season ticket straight to Kabul, which I don't even know you could fly there. I guess you can. But...
Well, yeah, there's that classic video that goes viral every so often. The guy who visits places immediately after like disasters, whether it's a terrorist attack, whether it's a bombing, whether it's whatever.
Yeah.
Was there
It's like it's the safest, and it's like the safest place you'll ever go because everything's like
Right,
everybody's
yeah.
shitting themselves, and the flight's really cheap, and the hotel's really cheap.
So he flew from Bristol Airport to Islamabad, and then drove.
That's gotta be.
It's got.
That can't be. There can't be more than one of those a day.
I'm not sure it's a direct
Yeah.
flight.
You're never like looking at the EasyJet board and getting confused between Belfast and Islamabad.
Who the fuck's going to Islamabad?
That would suck. I've always wanted to do that where you turn up at an airport and you just get on the next flight.
You'd be fuming if you ended up not.
Islamabad would be tough.
That's tough.
Islamabad. So he then drove to Peshawar, where he entered the Afghan embassy to be interviewed by members of the Taliban with machine guns.
Because Islamabad isn't Afghanistan. That's Pakistan, I think.
Yeah. So then
Yeah.
you have to drive into Afghanistan. This is the quote from the bloke. The trip was an eye-opening experience. And it sounds like it was a leg-opening experience as well. One of the things that astonished me the most was when I was in a bank, I saw a woman working and wearing makeup. Then I started seeing more and more women in the streets. And the markets who weren't covering their faces. It's not like how they tell you on the news. So you saw a bit of face, cheeky bit of face. It's like when I went to Morocco and I saw a bit of shoulder, which I thought was quite scandalous.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. You're kind of like a celebrity. The locals will follow you for miles. I would have people following me for 2 hours just to get a photo with me. Some kids wanted me in their YouTube video, which, like, if there are Afghan sort of vlogs,
Vloggers.
going on, I didn't know those were on YouTube.
Oh, they're all like I stayed in slums in India, and they're all on
Vlogging?
like fucking Instagram and like taking selfies and doing all that stuff. It's crazy.
Right. Okay.
Do you think he's just been employed as like a propaganda machine? To say-
Employed by who? The Taliban?
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
good. Like to come back and go. They're good lads over there.
Yeah, like you can't show
And
ankle,
spread the
your
word to
windows.
the people of Bristol and Bath.
They're very progressive. You can't-
Attention, white people with dreadlocks.
Yeah.
The Taliban are good lads.
There'd be more than that one flight going a day.
Yeah. Even in the bank, I'd get to skip the queue. I was a celebrity. I didn't want to leave. I really doubt all of that, but there we go.
Sounds like a fucking dickhead.
People
yeah.
do just ask you for pictures if you're white in these places.
Yeah.
But what was his name?
He's not white. His name is Toyosi Osideyende.
I mean, I don't want to assume, but that doesn't sound.
Not the whitest.
Well, unless he's one of those people that like goes to like Indonesia and rebrands.
Yeah.
But I doubt it though. And I saw the pictures. He's very African.
I don't know how
does that
rural
mean?
your upbringing was in Ireland, but you saying about people taking photos of white people, it was the exact same where I grew up. If someone saw a black lad in like a nightclub, they'd just be taking selfies with him and stuff.
There was a mate of mine who you might know. Where in Tyrone are you from?
Galbally.
Okay.
I
Is that
went
close
to
to Clyland?
my family's from Clyland.
Wow.
Yeah.
My dad used to work in Tyrone. We'll talk afterwards. I don't want to dox my dad.
Boring.
But there was a lad. He was like, "Oh yeah, my mate from school is coming. He was the only black guy in our year because I went to uni with him in
Yeah.
London." And this guy comes over and he is tanned.
Just Todd.
Tanned.
Yeah.
What? Like he's just been to Corfu?
He's Brazilian.
Yeah.
Oh, he's Brazilian. Yeah. I was sort of like for Tyrone, that's pretty black, I would say. Yeah.
There's a comedian from Clyland, and he was just happened to be slightly darker, and his nickname was Topsoil in school.
Current comedian.
Talal.
Talal Jomar. Good lad. One of the best lads.
Talal Topsoil. Right. Brilliant. Yeah.
Half Syrian, half from Tyrone.
That's
Wow.
hilarious.
What a combo.
Yeah.
He's a great guy. You should get him on here. He looks like if you put a bike pump up his ass and just fucking.
What?
You
What
need
does
a
that even
He's
mean?
just
He's just an absolute
a
balloon.
bigger that.
You'd need to put enough air to pump up a tractor tire to get me to that. Like,
Yeah,
but-
he's
Yeah.
a big boy. Funny though.
Right, this chap said that a security guard at the hotel, who was also a Taliban member, became his lover. So this is where we start getting some real shit. First, I ordered some takeaway and he brought it up to my room, which I didn't know you could get Deliveroo in Afghanistan, but there we go. I guess, it would be the same sort of people bringing it to your door.
Imagine it was posh. Imagine it was posh white people.
Yeah, it's the opposite.
People call it Rufus.
It's the opposite. It's like me on a bike.
Oh, typical. They're always called Rufus.
Yeah. Cheers, mate. What's the code? I noticed that he kept coming back every 5 minutes to see how I was. At a certain point, I just asked if he wanted to come in and watch a movie. We shared some food and kept on talking. Stuff happened after that, and we kept seeing each other every day. The Arabs love to flirt with men. Which sounds like something like Donald Trump would say.
Well, the Arabs do it like they hold hands with their bros.
Yeah, but it's not flirting. That's like
Love it.
that's
It's cute,
brotherly
though.
love.
It's cute, though.
It is called. They love me. I was obsessed. In the evenings, we would watch Gossip Girl.
XO.
He would love showing me his guns, which I think it could be a euphemism,
It's
but
got to be actual guns, but it's very funny.
or it's his
Yeah.
or it's his absolute chopper. We have spoken since I came back, but after some time, I had to let it go. The moment I left, it just didn't feel right. It was a fling. So
Taliban fling.
Do you know how they say that? a lot
I
of
think it's
people-
all Go on.
This is so OK magazine, like my
Like
Taliban fling.
tabloid shit,
You know,
yeah.
it's real red top stuff.
But how
Yeah.
people will sometimes say that lads that act so over the top straight have something to hide.
Mm-hmm.
Do you reckon
You've
this
met
lad
Mike.
is like that? Have indeed. But deciding to join the Taliban to hide that might be a step too far.
That's the straightest you can be. Is
Yeah.
Taliban.
So maybe that was his sort of angle. Trying
Yeah.
to keep the trail off him.
Right. Okay. Brilliant.
But then going to the press and saying I fucked a member of the Taliban isn't exactly hiding in plain sight. Maybe it is.
Her ultimate reverse psychology. I have to say, it's the best thing involving head that I've seen coming out of there for a while.
Because they chop them off.
Yeah, normally.
That's good.
He said the trip cost him $5,300, right? Which, if you're spending that much in Afghanistan, you've got a problem.
You're living at large.
Yeah, but nothing. I think it's like that's like living in. That's like spending.
That'll be flights as well. Although flights probably aren't that expensive.
Yeah, no one wants to go there.
How much is a flight Bristol to Islamabad?
Not dear, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
On his way back, Mr. Occidente said that his passport was taken off him at the border and he wasn't allowed to cross because he hadn't printed off his visa. So they pointed machine guns at his head, and then he got interrogation, which is the standard border control practice, I think. In the UK, if it says seek assistance on the e-scanner, I think that's what they do.
I had machine guns pointed at my head at Mumbai airport
Really?
because I left a mandolin behind. We were just arrived in Mumbai from London. And then we were doing this like little theatre show thing for kids in slums and stuff.
Right, because the mandolin was a big question there.
Yeah,
Right.
so that was part of the show. And yeah, we sort of walked out and I went, oh fuck, I forgot my mandolin. And I turned around and went to go back in, and the guy with the gun was like it's closed. And I looked in, and the whole airport had been like evacuated. And I was
Why?
like, oh, I just left my bag in there. And he was like, is it a guitar? And I was like, well, no.
That makes it sound so dodgy. No, it's not a guitar.
Sort of, but not really.
It's like a weird guitar. It's like,
It's like 8 strings, but each
Yeah.
of them are the same. It's like kind of weird. But it's nice, sounds cool. You know, like that's me in the corner losing my religion. And he was like, what are you talking about?
You went, it's a sitar, mate.
Anyway,
It's like a white people sitar.
I see.
Yeah.
And then I was like flanked by them while they were pointing it at me. And I was like,
Did they
oh,
actually
yeah.
point the guns
Yeah.
at you?
And then I was like, oh, there's the bag. And I went to grab it. And they were like, no, open it slowly. And I opened it.
Well, just in case your mandolin happened to be a bazooka.
Well, what if it was a bomb? Because the whole airport was evacuated.
Jesus Christ.
Because of
I
this.
left a bag there.
Right, yeah.
And then I like opened it, and they were like, "Oh, it's a guitar."
And there's like, drop the guns.
Yeah, and then I just walked out. And then in that taxi, my phone fell out of my pocket. Left my phone in a taxi in Mumbai. Got it back that night.
I'm surprised I didn't think
That
it was
is
like a C4
like
or
that's one of my
something.
greatest achievements is losing a phone in a taxi in Mumbai.
That's
Finding
unbelievable.
the taxi driver.
Because that's
getting it
basically
back.
like just chucking it into the void.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You might as well throw it into a black hole.
It's despawned. Like,
Yeah.
in my
Yeah,
opinion,
it's
there's no coming back from that.
But we did it.
So he got machine guns pointed at his head. And then he said, there were so many points during the trip where I was like, this is it. You made your bed. This was stupid. Now I'm going to die. But fortunately, his next plan is much more chill. So he's taking a 26-hour bus from Latvia to Ukraine.
Can he go somewhere that isn't fucking war-torn?
That's his thing, extreme tourism. Yeah.
Right. Has he been to Gaza yet?
Well, I don't know.
I might be a touch too far at the minute.
You can't really get in that sort
Yeah, that's the point, yeah.
of blockade thing.
Yeah, but maybe...
He'll be the
Bags
first
of
one
flour
queuing up.
can't in, never mind gay guys.
Yeah, exactly. Even a grain of rice can't get through that border. Right, let's move on to the weather now. Drizzle kicks, the weather segment, but it's also the sports segment, Snatch of the Day. We've got a 2-in-1 for you right here. The sport in question is disc golf, which is, I think, it's like if Quidditch wasn't enough of a virgin sport, disc golf was invented.
Quidditch is worse than disc golf.
Yeah,
What the fuck is
Disc golf is frisbee for people who don't have friends. Because there's nobody to catch it at the other end.
Yeah, right. But I think, isn't Quidditch ultimate frisbee for people who like Harry Potter?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's close. So yeah, the ultimate frisbee and disc golf are different. I think
Yeah.
ultimate frisbee, I don't think they should call it ultimate.
That
Yeah.
sort of makes it a bit zesty.
You know what I mean? I think they should call it like.
I think frisbee has more levels to unlock
Yeah.
before you get to ultimate.
You don't have to put
That's
anything in
not
your
the
ass
best
for
ever.
frisbee either.
What
In
was
Quidditch,
that?
You have to
name?
put like a sock up there.
Brody somebody was like the frisbee guy on YouTube for ages. Fuck, I don't know. But he was good at frisbee.
Yeah, but being the best guy at frisbee is like, it's like living in the best house in...
But this is how to become a millionaire now. All of this stuff is millions on YouTube and shit.
There's
It's
probably
being good at dumb shit.
like frisbee groupies out there that love that shit.
Like it's really like hard to get good at stand-up comedy and it takes forever. But there's more money in being class at like Tiddlywinks, I bet.
Yeah,
Less competition.
probably is. I just turn up and I'm just unbelievable, like bar billiards or shove halfpenny or something.
Yeah, that weird billiards where there's no pockets.
Yeah. I'd probably get millions. So the sport in question is disc golf, and the weather in question is a sharknado. A very small sharknado. One shark. It's raining hammerheads in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, as a group of disc golfers watched a hammerhead shark fall from the sky whilst in the middle of a game.
Wow, how many points do you get for that?
I don't think it landed in the basket. So they thought originally that it was a fish.
So that actually has happened. Like sharks have been scooped up by a tornado, and
Well, you're going to be disappointed, very disappointed by the size of this shark.
that's
Still
a
pretty
weird
fucking
screen.
cool,
These
like.
sunglasses make that invisible. Oh,
You couldn't see it, it was so small.
Oh.
It's camouflaged against the background. Yeah. That's the shark in question. It's a baby hammerhead measuring about 1 foot long, which is the size of 1 foot long Subway sandwich.
it's a baby shark. Yeah,
It actually very much is.
Okay, so that's the basis for that film.
But they
It's
don't-
so funny that Julia Roberts' brother is in all those films. Will Roberts is in like Sharknado, Sharktopus, Dino Croc versus
Jeez,
Super Gator.
imagine the Christmas dinner in that house.
Yeah, and she's there being like, with her Oscars lined up. And he's there surrounded by unsold DVDs.
Tara,
There's a cult following for them right enough.
Vicky from American Pie is in all of those.
Yeah.
But she never quite reached the heights of Julia Roberts, I don't think. But she did get the tornado tongue at the start of the second film, or the third film.
What's the tornado tongue? Her tongue gets caught in the tornado?
No, it's
Something sexual.
it's from the Book of Love that gets hidden in the
Oh,
library.
I thought you meant in Sharknado.
No, I was talking about American Pie.
You can't say tornado and not have me.
Yeah,
assume it's-
ironically, she's had a very tornado-themed career as a whole.
You'd hate to be an actor or an actress that gets stuck in those like Sharknado
She got-
B-movie horrors
she got
or like scary movie style ones.
She got typecast in all tornado films. Are just her now. Yeah.
Twister? Was she in Twister? I watched that.
Twister was good. I
What?
liked it.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's good to have on in the background. Like,
yeah, for the standard of films.
like me and my girlfriend just got steaming and watched it, and it was like good crack.
Yeah,
because they repeat it. It's very like you can tell nowadays. There's a thing that producers say to writers at the minute that things need to be more second screenable.
Yeah.
Which means that like you have to be able to scroll on your phone and watch it. So they repeat the plot.
That's so stupid.
All the fucking time.
Mm.
And Twister is exactly that. They're just like, and then if this happens, this will happen, and they say it every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Do you play Strip Twister? You watch the
don't
film
know
every time they repeat yourselves, you take a sock off or whatever. You know. It's a bit like Strip FIFA. I used to love Strip FIFA back in the day.
How many wanks have you had to strip FIFA?
Too many. You watched Strip FIFA before?
No.
A little bit after your time, I think.
Like,
Yes, I was. Is this like a Twitch streaming thing?
No, this
More
was
YouTube.
2015 Prime YouTube, and basically like what would happen is this guy who plays FIFA for a living would get a Love Island girl on who's never heard of FIFA. And they'd play a game of FIFA, and like every time he'd score, she'd take like a sock off.
He's 14-0 up in the first half.
Yeah, like he's scoring absolute screamers, and she's taking like
YouTube is just like
she's taking an earring off every time. You know,
13-year-olds wanking.
It is, yeah.
Like who don't have the balls to watch porn,
or they
want to just watch stuff of like, you know what I mean? Like even all this like.
I had the internet parental controls on.
Yeah,
So you were
maybe this is
using-
it.
So like it was YouTube. I was watching body paint compilations and stuff.
But you think like the Sidemen, and like no offense to the guys who own the studio, like all these guys, like they're just making like softcore porn for 13-year-olds.
They used to.
Yeah.
And
Well, I
it's,
don't know.
Like,
It more been like the friends of theirs.
yeah.
That, like they would get some OnlyFans woman and butter and FIFA. She'd have nothing on but like a bra after 10 minutes and millions of views.
Yeah. Just going,
You're going, I must be very good at FIFA. It's like
going up like 60-0, playing as the classic 11 against like the India national team.
And she's so shocked every time she concedes. She's like, oh, not again.
Yeah. But she's wearing like 14 jumpers and 8 t-shirts, so you never really get down
The
to
longest wank of anyone's life.
it. Yeah. Basically just rubbing it. Might as well.
watching FIFA.
Yeah.
You're rubbing it to Eric Cantona.
And that's the thing is, very, very little of it is Eddie stripping. Most of it is FIFA.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
All sponsored by some fucking coin selling website.
yeah, exactly. 5% off at thefootshop.com. Right, let's move on to our next segment now, and it's You're a Ranker. And today we're ranking the top 3 Irish people
of all
time. So we'll go around, and there might be some contentious picks. I probably haven't heard of any of the people you've picked, so that's okay. But we'll start with my number 3, Bono. Great singer, fantastic voice, made some iconic music, lovely guy.
Name 3 U2 songs.
Okay, 1, Pride, New Year's Day,
This
Sunday,
actually is the type of music he
Sunday,
loves.
Bloody Sunday, Beautiful Day.
Do you ever see the video
Hold
of
on.
U2 performing in San Francisco?
Yeah.
Somebody has a sign that says I heart SF, and Bono has a go at them being like, we do not support Sinn Féin or the IRA.
Really? Oh, that's so
It's
funny.
so good.
He's got 2 of the biggest fucking nepo babies of all time. His daughter Eve is the actress in Bad Sisters. And then his son is the frontman of Inhaler, I think.
I don't know them, like, but he's.
Yeah.
He once flew his hat first class. Bono.
Jesus Christ.
He left his hat at home, so he got it flown first class to him for a gig.
You definitely have like Jack Grealish or someone else in your list if that's who you're
Well, we'll
starting.
get onto my list.
It's Bono, Declan Rice, Jack Grealish. It's
We'll
gonna
get
be
onto
the
my
whole-
list.
The whole thing.
Your number 3?
I'd say my number 3 is probably gonna be Irish person. I mean, Paddy McCourt,
Never heard of the
Paddy
bloke,
McCourt.
actually.
Get a photo up.
the Derry Pele.
Right, yeah, okay.
Unbelievable footballer, but definitely just loved like smoking weed and pints.
Yeah.
Too much. He was just a real hippie looking guy.
Surely you'll recognise him from his Celtic days.
He's
I
like,
don't watch Scottish football. Yeah, he just looks like the most normal bloke of all time.
yeah, but you love a footballer that just looks so normal. Like
Yeah.
that's unbelievable, and he's astoundingly good at football.
I think
But
that is-
clearly, just didn't want to try that much.
Yeah, I like the pint a bit too much.
Like once every 7 games, he would go past the whole other team and score.
Right.
But the rest of the time, he was just sort of like on his phone.
It was a bit like Aidan McGeady, who's an Irish footballing hero that's actually Scottish. If he took a notion and turned up, he'd fucking do skills.
Is he like the Alexi McAllister of Ireland? Like, he's not, there's no way he's from there. Like
Yeah,
Alexis
yeah.
McAllister.
Alexis McAllister.
Alexis
Yeah.
McAllister
That's hilarious.
is the most
Argentine.
Glaswegian bastard of all time.
But you gotta like those white Argentinians are stressful because they're all Nazis.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, but
He might have been called Hitler a few years ago.
Yeah.
Right, Aidan, you're number 3.
My number 3 is Joseph Murphy. He's the fella that invented flavored crisps in 1950.
That's you
Okay,
gotta
that's a
give
great
us
shout.
that.
That's a great
You
shout.
gotta give us
Yeah,
that.
Yeah, brilliant.
Unbelievable.
What was the first flavour? Do you know?
Probably cheese and onion.
No, it's gotta just be
Standard potato.
salted. Like,
That's not a flavour though, is it? That's what they already tasted
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. Yeah.
We also invented chocolate milk and ejector seats.
I'm not a fan. Chocolate milk was the first stage on the miserable highway to Huel, unfortunately, because
that's
Don't-
crazy.
don't lump
no,
Yazoo in with
those
you.
are in opposite directions on a similar
if
highway.
chocolate milk had never been invented, we wouldn't have
It's the
Huel.
horseshoe. It's people obsessed with health and people who have no regard for their own health.
Yeah.
It's horseshoe theory. Chocolate milk and Huel. They're like close to each other, but you're going in different directions.
I saw a fucking Huel vending machine in a train station the other day.
We're in end times.
Yeah.
Badly.
So last night I was having some drinks with some uni mates.
Are you using Huel as mixer now?
Yes.
No, you fucking aren't.
Well, they're all
Rufus.
they're all moving out because they just graduated, and I'm the only one without a degree. And we were there just basically just finishing up all the drinks. But yeah, we were having white rum and Huel.
What sort of dickheads are you associating with that they're stocking Huel in their
A
fridge?
Moscow Huel.
Yeah, Moscow Huel. That's that is awesome. Yeah, that's fantastic.
Oh, that's bad. You can't be having Huel as a mixture. That's like putting vodka in your porridge. What are we
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about?
Sure, they would like congeal after.
Two double rum and Huels, please, mate. Yeah.
Like I like a White Russian, but that's
It
fucking
basically
crazy.
created a layer of cottage cheese on the top.
It
where
curdles.
It curdles, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
What's
pretty
your go-to mixer with a vodka or with anything?
I don't drink vodka, but I'm a spice rum and Diet Coke boy. That's my.
I'm a fan of the Broke Bitch vodka tap water.
Yeah, I had
Delicious.
that 3 times in uni. Fucking so.
Okay.
The worst I ever got was vodka red wine.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's just
I
number.
used to mix the Smirnoff Ice and WKD with Sainsbury's vodka, and it was like fucking paint.
Did you ever have a fat frog?
Yeah.
Orange VK, Smirnoff Ice, and blue WKD mixed together. It turns luminous green, and it'll send you to the moon.
Yeah, it looks fucking like pure poison.
My number 2, Declan Rice.
Sounds
We
pretty
saw
nice.
it coming.
Fantastic
We saw
Irish
it coming.
footballer. Scored a wonderful goal in Ireland on Irish soil.
And
Scored a
set off
wonderful
the
goal.
ra on Instagram.
He did. He
Yeah.
tweeted out up there. He was playing rebel songs. He was kissing the badge whenever he was captain in the under-18s.
Was he actually upping
Yeah.
the raw?
I'm
I
conflicted as an
actually,
Arsenal fan, but
I actually,
He's actually from Kingston upon Thames.
I like Declan Rice
Yeah.
as a guy. I love that he's got his missus who he just loves loads, and people
The
are
old
really
chub-
rude about
the old
her.
chubby
I'll kill
missus.
you.
Yeah.
I'll kill you.
No, I'm
She's
with
a
him.
wonderful woman.
I'm with him. Yeah,
She's
yeah.
a wonderful woman, and
I'm
you,
sure.
I will not hear about
all
her.
those fucking footballers that woman's going to leave them as soon as they turn 40 and are retired, he'll be safe. Like,
I mean, if by the time Lamine Yamal turns 40, his missus will be 82.
he's kind of got like a Aaron Taylor Johnson
He's such a granny shagger, isn't he?
He is.
He is such a
I
granny.
mean, they're
shagger.
29, but he's 17.
He's like if Joe Weller was really good at football.
Yeah,
He's not really getting the
Rice,
same treatment as Wayne Rooney did whenever he was shagging grannies.
I think it's because it's more on.
I think it's
they're
because-
like an OnlyFans, like Wayne Rooney's. They were actual.
Well, Wayne Rooney's like getting Forrest Gump to play football, whereas Declan Rice has actually got a bit of cerebral sort of capability. I think.
Yeah.
I think
My
Declan Rice
cousin,
is that.
cousin Declan, brother.
And I live North London, and I was watching the game where he scored the 2 free kicks,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I heard the cheers just before it, like, because
Oh, it
there was a
did,
slight
yeah.
delay, and I was like, "Fuck, has he scored that?" And it was like, unbelievable.
Your number 2?
My number 2, Brendan Gleeson.
Never heard of the.
Shut the fuck up, Rufus. Shut the
is
fuck
that?
up.
Who is that?
He's the best actor with the biggest ears in the world.
I know the other Gleeson.
Dono?
Donald.
Yeah.
You shit yourself because you were going to say Domino. Because you're a
Domino.
dickhead.
I just couldn't remember his first name because I've literally I don't see letters
In
that order.
Bruges.
Yeah.
Banshees of Inisherin.
You know my number 2?
The Guard.
Sergeant Jerry Boyle, Brendan Gleeson's character in the
In the Guard.
So you
Opposite
picked-
John
you picked the
Cheadle.
same guy
He
twice.
befriends a black man. It's beautiful.
That just shows you how few people there are on Ireland.
a
That
fucking
you
great
guys
movie.
both picked the same
He's
bloke.
the best. You know him as well. Mad Eye Moody in the Harry Potter films.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
You know the fellow that directed 3 Billboards, and I'm pretty sure you said you're a fan of that show.
3 billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri.
His
Yeah.
brother directed The Guard.
Oh, wow.
John Michael McDonald.
Wow, he must have brilliant.
The guy, you know Don Cheadle?
No.
He's not Irish.
Oh, okay, yeah,
He's
I
a
do
Black
know.
American
I
man.
do know him then. Yeah, sure.
It's like a buddy cop film between those two.
The Guard is one of the best films of all time.
Yeah.
Well, my number 1, Conor McGregor, fantastic fighter.
You're a fucking tosser.
Number 1 pay-per-view draw of all time.
You have to he watches stuff that Mike and me do.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he called Mike retarded and inbred.
I mean, he can't really dispute either of those things.
My president, Conor McGregor, my candidate, the one true hope, make Ireland great again.
I'm gonna get attacked by Conor McGregor.
What was the context of him calling? Why did he call Mike that? What was the
Because
clip?
we had a clip about him, and then obviously he started like watching stuff, and he commented on one of Mike's stand-up clips.
Right.
Those 3 words.
He is the sort of guy that's like, he earned like 180 million quid in 1 year, and he still gets riled by TikTok clips.
Yeah.
He's googling himself every day, searching on Reddit. Like
Yeah.
he's not a happy man.
How badly do you have to have fucked it to go from having everyone in Ireland stand up to 4 a.m. to watch your fights to the opinion of them now?
I was in uni when all this was happening.
Yeah.
We would stay up and we watched the Aldo fight. It was like an
Unreal.
unbelievable
Used to
buzz.
be
The
everyone
Chad
in the
Mendes
country.
fight where he was
Yeah.
about to lose, and it was just so fucking exciting.
Yeah.
And now he's just the worst ever.
Doesn't he have quite a lot of support? Like, when he
He
announced...
actually
No,
does.
from fucking Americans and Indians on Twitter. Like that's all it is.
When he announced that he was going to run for the president, doesn't he have some backing?
He does in Ireland. There is a surprising amount of people.
Well, there was an Irish pub near London Bridge that like messaged me like, "Oh, come down, we're doing spice bags and Guinness and like trad sessions. It's a new Irish pub." And I was like, "Oh, like I'll look into this." Click on the owner's Instagram, first picture, fucking him and McGregor.
a lot of the places covered up the paintings and stuff and the
Heck
gym
yeah.
walls, and as soon as it all happened, but there's still some people that just
And also, it's in like the rest of the world is only like catching up recently. Like if you knew anyone who lived in Dublin
yeah.
for a few years there, it was like, "Oh yeah, I can't libel. He did this to my friend."
You're right.
Yeah, beating up fucking old men in pubs and
But not even knocking them out. How is an old man in a pub taking a punch from?
good chin on them, to be fair.
Unbelievable. That the most recent one, the in Ibiza one. Did you see him cracking a guy in Ibiza who was just? I don't know what the guy said.
I've only chosen to look at certain aspects of his career here. There's actually a lot I don't know about the guy.
Yeah.
Maybe if I found out about that stuff, it would change the rankings. But for now, he's my number 1.
Okay.
Your number 1?
Barack Obama.
Yeah, brilliant shout. You got Obama number 1 as well?
I don't, but after the fucking filling station, he definitely has his place.
Yeah.
I'm a big honourable mention Paul Mescal. I think he's representing the country with a plum.
Yeah, although did you see him carrying a Union Jack tote bag?
Listen,
the
we
other
all
day?
go to M&S every so often, and it's
Oh,
the
wasn't
only
an
bag
M&S one,
available.
though?
It's the
Oh,
only
was
bag
it?
available.
It wasn't an M&S.
It wasn't a
was
tote.
it
It
some,
wasn't a tote. I think that's a bag for life from a place.
I don't know.
was it some
shop.
Reform UK merch?
It might have been.
Is
It
it
was
straight
just
from the
it was
Farage
just
collection?
a shopping bag with a Union Jack on it.
a real. I don't know. It's like my ma.
Because you get them in Tesco, you get them in M&S. They're all fucking plastered. It's
You
hard
would-
to avoid the Union Jack these days.
You wouldn't touch that.
What's the
principle.
shoes? It's got like the Union Jack. And the
Reebok.
logo? Yeah, my ma accidentally bought a pair of them one time at Sports Direct because it was like the cheapest pair of shoes. She got home, noticed it, and cut them out of the shoe.
Yeah.
That's what
People
I expect from
re-stitch
Paul.
Ireland flags under them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm buying you a Rangers shirt for Christmas.
It'll be fucking burnt. in a week. I don't care that much about it, but I'm not going to wear one.
Right. Yeah. So who's your number 1?
My number 1 is Robbie Brady for the goals he scored at Euro 2016. Whenever we more or less won the
Oh,
tournament,
Robbie.
How far did you get in the tournament?
we got put out by France, who went on to win it.
Oh, so you basically won.
More or less
I
to
would
the
say
Irish,
so.
that was a win.
I think that's second place at least,
Yeah.
right?
Do you know what's hilarious though? That was 9 years ago. He won our Player of the Year that year. He also won our Player of the Year last year, which shows how fucking little Irish football has progressed.
Oh, you've got to have some other players like,
Is
sort of,
he the
like
one-
Jack Grealish.
Did he have? Who has curly hair? There was that. Oh, Robbie
Jeff Hendrick.
Brady, you are the love of my life.
Mm.
Robbie
Michael
Brady,
Jackson.
Let my shag my wife. But then the last time was I want curly hair too. But Robbie Brady doesn't have curly hair.
Not really,
That
no.
must be about someone else. Can't remember.
Maybe Jeff Hendrick, he had
Answers
curly
on a
hair.
postcard.
Right, let's cut off that boring chat about mediocre Irish footballers for our next segment. And this is questionable. It's our audience interaction segment where we ask you a tantalizing query, an unbelievable prospect, and we respond to your best answers. That's right. That sort of hand motion is me collating all the answers. I'm panning for gold in the cesspool of shit that people send to my DMs
Yes.
normally. we have asked you this week, what have you done that would get you cancelled? And I mean, it's just so much blackface in the DMs. So much. It was a bit of a mistake. Like the time I asked people to send in their worst.
You ever seen
injuries.
that Leeds fan with El Hadj Diouf? It's my
Don't think
favourite
so,
picture of, you know, El Hadj Diouf, Senegalese
I have seen
footballer.
that.
I don't know who that is, but from the name, I can guess where this is going.
So this young Leeds fan dressed up as him, but there's a picture of El Hadj Diouf with the boy, and they're both just really happy, and the parents have gone mad
He
with the
loved it.
marker. It's the funniest picture I've ever seen in my whole life.
Yeah, I can see it.
But El Hadj Youth himself had no issue with it. He thought it was class.
Look at that boy.
Looks like fucking Mr. T.
He looks like a villain from like Fast and Furious or something.
But get the picture of the both of them top left. They love it.
He's went even darker than him.
He's darker than Juve. It doesn't look anything like him. Yeah, he does look like a bit of a Marvel villain there. Yeah.
Did you ever get blackfaced for like a school play or anything by your parents?
No.
You brought that up like it's happened to you.
It happens more regularly in Ireland. Well, not these days, but back in the day.
Hairspray. If you're doing Hairspray as the school musical, I've heard about that. No, I never did that. But we had one black kid in our class in primary school, Charlton, and when he was in the school play, the like the staff, like the teachers or classroom assistants who were doing like the makeup for the school show, only basically had their own makeup. They were all white, so they basically put Charlton in like white face just because they were putting the absolute wrong foundation on him.
Right, yeah. Okay, our first response. For Halloween, I made a Donald Trump pumpkin, brackets, Donald Trumpkin,
Pretty good.
which I then filmed myself smashing with a baseball bat in my back garden. If I did that today, I'd probably get deported by the Department of Homeland Security. This is clearly an American. And this is why I hate Americans. Summed up perfectly here. This is the most school bully ass shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
But all of it's loser. The fact that like
This
doing
is so
the pumpkin
lame.
thing is lame, but then the fact that it like he probably would get in quite a lot of trouble for that now is also lame.
yeah,
Especially
yeah.
from the fucking free speech. Like this is supposed to be the party of like say whatever the fuck you want,
Yeah.
and they are just they're such
They shit themselves anytime someone actually does.
yeah they're soft.
This is like the most like, guys, coach is right. Like we need to play as a team sort of shit. Don't you think it's like maybe if I smash this pumpkin they'll stop doing bad stuff.
Donald Trump will flush your head down.
Yeah,
the
it's
toilet.
like, oh, maybe if I take her glasses off, she's actually hot.
Yeah.
Sort of shit.
Can we ask if you have American people listening? Has anyone ever like actually had their head flushed down a toilet? Like, have you ever?
Yeah, this is the most.
Like, is that actually a thing that
What do you call
happens,
that
or
thing?
is it just
Noogie,
TV?
where they do that? Is that who the fuck does that?
Yeah, I've given a few noogies in my time.
I believe your like boarding school experience of that stuff's probably.
I think
happened.
because it's headlock. It's like a softer version.
Yeah.
Like, you're not gonna punch them. But
Something you do to like your brother. Or
I'm
something.
actually starting to come around. I'm quite a fan of the noogie now.
Yeah.
You could do it with people who recently had hair transplants.
Yeah,
And just
fucking ruin the thing.
Theo Baker back from Turkey. Just get it all out again.
What was the equivalent of that over here? Back home it was just like a dead arm or something, probably.
Dead arm Chinese burn.
Yeah.
What are they called now?
Burn of Chinese origin.
Or as Americans call all Asian people Asian Americans, even if they're not from
And African Americans.
Yeah,
Which
they
is
call
fucking hilarious.
all black people African Americans.
The ignorance is just unbelievable.
Yeah, so I believe it's an Asian American burn these days.
Asian American burn.
Next one, I pissed in the mop bucket of the lucky bathroom man in the nightclub.
Looky, surely.
You know, no spray, no lay,
Yeah.
no money, no punani.
Pissed in the mop bucket.
Pissed in the mop bucket.
It's not really on.
Which is ironic. Most nightclubs, then cleaning with that would mean there was less piss on the floor than before, I think. Because there's so much piss already.
There's already piss in that bucket.
It cancels out.
It's
Oh, yeah,
almost,
someone's
like,
definitely distracted the fucking lucky man when his friends took a piss.
for sure, but I also think like if you're mopping a toilet floor and then you're squeezing the mop into the bucket.
yeah,
There's piss in that bucket.
It's all piss.
100%.
But also that bucket lives in the toilet, so just go for a piss in the toilet.
Mm.
You know?
Yeah.
It's not the worst thing that anyone's ever done in the toilet of a nightclub. Didn't Cheryl Cole like racially abuse the toilet attendant in a nightclub?
Fuck, I didn't know that.
This is the kind of one stain on Cheryl Cole's, apart from the tattoo on her ass, but the...
Oh, I didn't know about either of these things.
Yeah.
So you've got to touch on
Wow.
both of those.
Yeah, can you? I want to get I don't want to be libelous, but there is a story of Cheryl Cole racially abusing a toilet attendant in a nightclub. Just
Okay.
like bad stuff, because she was like, when I was 16 in school, she was everybody's favorite lady.
Wow, you weren't lying.
Found guilty. Fined £3,000 for punching club's toilet attendant.
What
Yeah.
was it that made it racist? Did she say something too?
I think she did say something, but maybe that wasn't convicted. Allegedly.
That's the.
Oh yeah, she called her a
What-
fucking black bitch. That's
yeah,
not good.
Won't be repeating that one on air, but
Yeah.
Vittorio said it, so you guys know.
You're allowed to say that.
Yeah, you're allowed. It's a quote.
Yeah. No, I just feel uncomfortable with all.
Do
that.
you?
all
Do
that
you
sort of
feel
stuff.
uncomfortable?
You like to talk about them?
Yeah, no, I feel attacked.
They're just like
Um,
us, Rufus.
Yeah. Wow, that's good. What's on her ass?
That big tattoo of flowers. Her whole ass is flowers now.
Oh yeah, I think I might have seen that.
Which one is worse?
I think going out with Ashley Cole is probably the worst of all three.
Apparently he's gay, and it was all a big cover up.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Because
But also to get her out of the racism allegations.
Yeah,
I say that because this is
mutually beneficial.
This is an isolated incident, whereas those flowers are permanent.
yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
Big
Actually,
choice.
is part of the Ashley Cole song is Ashley Cole is a Chelsea body boy.
Yeah.
So maybe there's something to that.
Yeah.
Supposedly he was gay, and she needed to cover up her racism, so they were put together for a little while. And then she fucked that small boy from One Direction.
Is that also true? Wow,
She met him when he was 14.
Yeah.
Liam Payne.
Yeah.
I didn't even know
I
they
knew
were
that
together.
much. I suppose that's surely a bigger stain than even this. Fucking grooming a 14-year-old child.
That's grooming.
Yeah.
Like, Cheryl Cole is Philip Schofield.
Right.
More or less.
Yeah.
She
Met them
fucking
at
Aidan
14
TV
on a TV show? In a position of power?
Yeah,
That's bad.
That's true.
That's like Harvey Weinstein in his prime.
Am I thinking of Caroline Flack?
no.
No. No, Cheryl Cole was.
Caroline Flack went out with Harry Styles.
Yeah, they both were pretty
Two
fucked.
of them got diddled.
And both them's dead.
Harry Styles isn't dead.
No,
Caroline Flack's dead.
Caroline
Flack.
Flack's dead. Yeah.
Wow.
It's all starting to add up.
Next one.
There's some cunt at home with a
Pinboard.
pinboard with pieces of string going between all this, but going to Argentina balcony and the Palladium.
I briefly mentioned it earlier, but I think the most fucked up one is Aaron Taylor Johnson and his wife. If you've ever seen that.
Because I thought
Because she's about 400 years old.
I thought
she
you
met
meant
him-
Adam Johnson.
Oh
but-
no! I think she met him when he was 10.
Did you hear about the headline when Adam Johnson, when they said Premier League star coming to Leeds?
I don't think so.
It was in like a local Leeds newspaper, but it was because he was going to the prison.
I'd love to have seen the Fabrizio Romano. Here we go for that one.
There we go. Confirmed.
There we land. Adam Johnson to Leeds, 10 years.
And well, I read before that she was babysitting him before that, but they met on set.
But there's Macron. You know the Macron thing, Emmanuel
Christ, we're
Macron.
just uncovering a whole ring. What's going on?
Emmanuel
Nobody's
Macron,
safe.
the French president or prime minister, whatever. His wife was his teacher in school.
Jesus, that's class. To be fair,
He's also really short, which is
He's still but a boy.
like he's probably the same height he was then,
Yeah.
and so is she. So yeah, very.
He was 14 when they met, I think, maybe younger.
Next one. My friend introduced me to his uncle Malik, who is black and deaf. In brackets, it says hardcore difficulty. Anyway, when I met him, I felt this was a perfect opportunity to achieve what every white guy dreams about, apparently. So I went up to his uncle and whispered the N-word in his ear. Got a massive adrenaline rush from calling a black person the N-word. He's saying it like he's going on the fucking Dragon Inferno at Chessington World.
This is
Adventure.
like if a tree falls in the forest and nobody hears it. Like if you call Stevie Wonder the N-word in sign language.
Does it have a sign?
Yeah, well, sign language is racist anyway. I know some
yeah, there's
sign
a couple
language.
that's like
This is Irish because it's flicking fleas off you.
Really?
Yeah.
You can't do that.
This is drunk, my favorite one. That's a good bit of fun, just like wobbly legs.
Yeah.
But then Chinese is what you think it is.
what's that?
The eyes.
Is it that?
It's the eyes.
No, it's not.
It's the eyes.
Is it not a bit of sort of that sort of business?
No, it's the eyes. I think they've changed it recently, but
They would have
Chinese is
needed
the
the
eyes.
stage. Yeah,
Right.
Chinese at least was the eyes, and then black was like a bit racist for a while.
there's something that's like beating the chest as well. Saw
Mm.
Dan Byrne do it, a fan in the crowd, but it's something very wholesome. But if you done that in the Italian league, there would be a fine.
But you could
against
do like all the, because I know the alphabet in sign language, but you could do all the words of the N word. But if you just end on an A,
Can we see what
instead
that
of
looks like?
Do a hard R.
just ER.
Right. I found out Uncle Malik was only partially deaf, which made it a bit awkward.
But he got away with it.
Well, I don't know.
Just
That's
whispered
sort of
in
the
the
end of the
wrong
story.
ear.
Maybe he died halfway through. He got chefed halfway through writing
That's
it.
a crazy thing to do. To like to meet a black deaf person, and be like first thing on your mind.
Also, I like how he
We've
says
got a tap in here. Open goal.
the massive
That's
generalization.
crazy.
What every white guy dreams about. Like I'm just gonna go, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it also
You're right.
somewhat considerate that he's thinking, you know what, I need to get this out, but I'll do it to someone that's not going to take it?
Yeah, but this is the child sex robots conversation, isn't it?
I have no idea what that reference is, but
This is the idea that like if we
you
make
give a
child
pedophile-
sex
yeah,
robots,
yeah.
does it encourage them or does it say?
Is that your Amazon wish list?
Yeah.
Yeah. Next one. Matched with a guy on Tinder. Got talking, but after a month I found out he was part of the IDF. So he's probably from New Jersey.
That's the Craig David B side. Matched with the guy on Tinder. He was in the idea.
I knew girls from school in the IDF. Like
fuck, really?
Israeli girls. I think you have to do it.
Yeah, it's like
But
a thing.
they just put-
There's
been post-
conscription. They have to do a year. Not
They're pretty hot. And like they just post pictures of themselves with machine guns like on
Did that do a lot for you?
yeah, like Instagram, like boomerangs from the front line.
You love a genocidal bitch.
But it's like the Instagram stories are funny because it's like, you know, it's like brunch, but that
Yeah, you think your girlfriend takes up too much of the bed? Wait till you're in bed with a member of the IDF.
Yeah,
They are. You're getting.
I'm entitled to that side.
yeah, this is my birthright.
Are they doing like outfits of the day? On the
Yeah, no,
Gaza Strip?
they're doing outfits of the day, but it's just like different camos.
Is that a real thing? You pointed at me as if that's been done.
Yeah,
You fucking
no,
joking.
The influencers of the IDF, like all the hot.
they do like
mad.
yeah, get ready with me, and then like put on the backpack.
Man, I say what you like about the Nazis. They weren't TikToking their genocide.
Yeah, true.
And she's like, this is what I eat in a day as a member, and it's like just three
Three
MREs.
Palestinian soldiers.
yeah.
They don't eat them,
Yeah.
I believe.
Next one. When we were younger, me and my cousin always played GTA together, and one day at my grandma's, we decided it would be a fun idea to pretend we were in GTA. So we covered our faces in Nutella. in brackets, childhood version of blackface. Which implies that there's sort of a grown-up adult blackface you need to unlock at some point. Which, you know,
Yeah, to do like an Easter egg to get
moves on from that. Yeah, you have to put in the code. Walked down the street with her decommissioned shotgun that her dad used to hunt rabbits with. So yeah, what's really interesting, you don't have to. There are loads of white people.
I was
in
about to
GTA.
say,
I was gonna say, like,
100%.
when I imagine GTA, it's like a white guy.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
the Miami sort of shirt.
Yeah.
Like the Nutella was just unnecessary. Next one. I have no legs, so I just dress up as Oscar Pistorius every year for Halloween.
I met a comedian who was Australian, and he was no legs at the knees, but he was a former
short king.
Former, yeah,
Yeah.
former Paralympian who was doing like a fringe show. And I was like how good were you in the Paralympics? And he was like, oh yeah, I won like multiple gold medals, broke Oscar Pistorius' record. I was like, you killed 2 women.
I always think I watch the Paralympics and I'm like, I could smoke those fuckers.
I have, and this is a real like shadow self thought, that if I got like hit by a bus and put into a wheelchair, I think I could do quite well at the Paralympics.
Maybe murder ball or something.
Yeah, wheelchair rugby, wheelchair basketball. I think I could do all right.
I would probably be better at that than just anything else.
Because it's just a smaller talent pool, isn't it?
Yeah.
So there's less. You know, it's like frisbee, disc golf. It's like there's not that many people playing it. So if you're decently coordinated and like, I reckon I could make a run for it.
Well,
but I need to get hit by a bus. Like, no.
Yeah,
That
so
was,
you plenty of time to train.
There was a scandal in 2004, wasn't there, with the Spanish blind basketball.
No. It was the special. They all pretended to have special needs. It wasn't blind. They all pretended to be like
They were just normal
basically
guys.
Down syndrome. Like
He's
they just.
describing the film The Ringer right now.
I don't know, but they actually got disqualified. The Spanish Special Olympics basketball team,
They basically just got some normal blokes in and be like, play a bit of basketball.
and just
That is
like
mental.
pretend to be a bit fucked up.
The film The Ringer, Johnny Knoxville wants to win money to pay off some like gambling debt or something, so he tries to pretend to be special needs to enter the Paralympics, but he still is nowhere near it. Like there's still people dusting him and everything. He tries his
I need that to happen to me. I need to be humbled. I've played wheelchair basketball against my friend James, who was a Paralympic wheelchair basketball player. It's really hard.
Next one. It hasn't happened yet, but every year my mate's birthday falls during the Autumn International, so we go to watch a game in Cardiff and support whoever Wales are playing that day. We are English. I like to convince the locals, particularly the female population, that I am from said opposing country. So far, I've managed South Africa,
Easy.
Austria, and Argentina.
Surely Australia. Austria aren't playing fucking
Well, it says Austria.
rugby.
Yeah, I know.
It's got to be Australia. South Africa, Australia, easy mode. Argentina, also easy mode.
This year we're going
Convince someone you're Fijian, for the love of God.
This year we're going to watch Wales versus Japan.
There we go. Now we're talking.
Yeah.
Now we're
You
talking.
might be able to do that sign language bit you were talking about.
Yeah. I don't know what Japanese is.
Short bow.
Is that his name?
Yeah. Last one. When I was 16, I faked having special needs to get into the standing section of a Calvin Harris and Tiesto.
What
At
special
least
needs
make
did
it
he
a good
fake?
gig.
Yeah,
Everybody
you've
at
gotta
that
be
gig has special needs.
You've got you've got to be careful which one you pick,
Yeah.
because if you're going standing, you can't be like just hopping out the wheelchair and then
If not at the
Sprint.
start of the gig, once the fucking yoke's kicking.
Yeah.
sprinting for the barrier.
It was acceptable in the 80s. What can I say?
Tiesto is so much older.
No clue.
No idea what you're on about.
Great tune.
Tiesto is so much older than I thought he was.
Should we hazard a guess?
Yeah, have a
Like
go.
right now?
60.
Okay, that just makes this whole thing look absolutely shit.
40.
Is he actually 60?
He's 56.
That's actually not far off.
So he was in his like. I guess he was in his 40s when he was big.
In my
David
mind,
Guetta's always older than you think. He was like 40 when he made it big.
but like in my mind,
Shout out
he's-
to his family. You seen that?
and yeah,
Think so?
when he ended racism,
Oh, fuck.
yeah,
I have a dream.
Do you remember
because
when-
you know what George Floyd wanted, EDM. Yeah,
Just remember when Pitbull wasn't selling out arenas?
To people in bald caps.
I think it's literally just the ball caps and how it's become like
It's become a meme.
Yeah.
You gotta lean into the meme, steer into the skid.
He used to like not sell out Belsonic whenever I was younger.
I-
and now he's selling.
I still
so
think
much
like
shows.
he's nobody's favorite artist.
no
It's a
one at
meme.
all.
And I reckon he keeps his ticket prices quite cheap so people
No,
can
they're
go for
fucking
a lap.
high. They're like over 200 quid.
Tell you what's
This
mad.
guy wanted to go.
Tell you what's mad. Chris Brown selling out stadiums of women.
And women paying to have him fucking grind on them as if he's not a famous woman beater.
I don't know any Chris Brown songs.
Freaky Friday is the only one I remember from, and
I
that's a
don't
Little
know.
Nicky song.
See, if that's the career highlight you can remember
Yeah.
from
But
Chris
he
Brown.
just did like a stadium in London.
He absolutely battered Rihanna for like a year, and women have just seemed to forgot that.
And on that note, we're going to leave it there. Thank you once again for tuning into Radio Rufus. We
Do you
would
want to promote your Edinburgh show
I'm at the Edinburgh Fringe. It's all sold out, but I'm going on tour. That'll be announced soon. When does this come out?
next Wednesday?
next Wednesday.
I think the week commencing the 7th of July is when my tour of the UK and Ireland will go on sale. Is it London? Lots of London boys? Doing the Apollo in London in March 2026. Come along. That'll be good crack.
March 2026, so just around the corner. You just
It's about to go on sale, so
brilliant.
that's how you promote things. You announce them in advance of
Do you?
it happening. Yeah.
Oh shit! I've been doing it afterwards. Fuck. No wonder they've been so poorly attended. Yeah. Well, we'll see you again next week. Make sure to get your left bollock out and smash the 5-star review button on Spotify, because that helps with its algorithms, and it's all tied up in, well, it's probably 700,
There's 700 Indians.
700 Indians working on it in the background. It's like if you leave a 5-star review, they get a
They get a tea break.
someone gets on the phone in Hyderabad and says pump the numbers, and then it all sort of works
Well,
itself
Danny
out.
Dyer lives in Hyderabad. Pump the numbers. Pump the numbers.
Yeah. Pump the fucking numbers. We'll see you again next week. Back to you in your house.